Hello, everyone. Welcome to our NCE training courses. I'm Lei from NovaStar training team. Our training is starting soon, and the topic today is troubleshooting different brightness issue. To provide you a good training environment, we sincerely suggest you to keep your audio on mute mode during the whole session. Please scan the QR code or click the link at the chat room to sign in. If you can't click the link, please copy and paste it to your browser. Feel free to leave your questions that are related to today's topic on the chat room. We will reply you later on the Q&A session. If you have any other questions that are not about today's content, please feel free to send an email to nce@northstar.tech, or you can join LinkedIn NCE group to post your questions about our training issue. So now let's welcome Mr. Angus. He is today's trainer.
Hello everyone, I'm Angus from NovaStar training team. I'm really glad we can have the training today because this course is our last topic of the online NCE training. And I saw some old friend in the chat room. Yeah, long time no see. And if you don't know us, if you don't know me before, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Angus from NovaStar training team. My friend always call me Angus, but I think you can call me tonight. Okay, so let's see what kind of information I'm going to share you today. Before we start do the training, I want to show you the information about our examination. I know that this is the last course of our online training, so you may very curious about how we can get examination. So here, our training, all the online examination will be happened on June 4th. And we also ran 2 time slots for the client to make sure the global client can join the training, can join the examination. So you can see the time information here. So if you want to join our examination, just come to our Zoom room. And you can get online exam link. And for all the questions during the examination will be divided into multiple choice questions and adjust questions. So I hope this 8 topic of our training already share you enough information. And I hope you can get a good score during the examination. Okay, so if you still have some question about the examination, we will explain more in the end of the training. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the presentation of our content. First, if you already joined yesterday, the day before yesterday's training, my colleague Darren left some question or homework for you. So let's see together. We can do a review. The question is, if there is a flickering cabinet on your screens, what will you do to locate the issue? Wow, I think my colleague Darren gave you a very big question because this is the main topic for our past training. So here I want to share you some information we already shared in the past training. First, let's see. Every time when we met the flickering problem, normally we have 2 situations. The first is the flickering position is fixed, or the flickering position is unfixed. So here, I share you this form. This form is going to tell you how we think about, in which kind of way we're thinking about to check the problem. Because there's a lot of things need to explain. So if you have any question about how we can check the issue, how we can confirm where is the problem, please check the video on our website, or you can also follow our YouTube channel to know all the details about how we can check the frequency problem. So here just a review of the thinking, how the NovaStar engineer will check the problem if the frequency problem is fixed. Now you can make a screenshot or you can go to the YouTube channel. Let's say the next one, that is if the frequency is unfixed. Okay, so here's also we need to see whether this is the whole screen is frequency or the frequency is not on not in a fixed position. So here we mentioned the screen control, this function. If you still remember it, that is the very useful small function on our software Nova LCT. Okay, so here today we have the new topic. We will not talk too much about how we can check the reason of this problem. But I hope you already know how to solve this problem. Okay, so let's see today's topic. Today's topic, that is the troubleshooting, the different brightness issue. So I believe in your daily job, you should meet this kind of problem. Yeah, here the screen, maybe there's one output, the brightness of the screen is totally different, or there's few cabinets on the screen has different brightness. I think this brightness issue never be a big problem, but it makes person, especially us, feel uncomfortable. So today we're going to share my experience to help you to see next time if you met this problem, how we can solve it, or in which kind of steps we can do and we solve it. Okay, let's see what I prepare for you today. So today I prepare 6 possible reasons for you. First, different brightness mode. Second, different RCFG or RCFGX file. Third, different firmware program. Fourth, calibration coefficient. 5, power supply. 6, multiple patches. All of them will influence the brightness effects on the screen. So let's see them one by one. First, if you use NovaStar for a long time, you will know in the Nova LCT, this software, we will have the option which name is the brightness. When you click that option, you will get this interface. You will get this interface. In the brightness adjustment, brightness, especially in the menu adjustment, you will see here we can adjust the brightness. This is the brightness level value which we can adjust. And here we have 2 brightness modes, grayscale or contrast. So here, what I want to explain is in the our software internal algorithm, our system will do these 2 parameters in different way. So that's why if we want to keep one of them as the higher priority, we will influence a little bit on the brightness level. And here, the brightness, we call it the brightness information. So if next time anyone asks you, okay, what is the brightness information in NovaStar system? You can tell them the brightness information has 2 parts, at least 2 parts. One is the brightness value, this part, strong or not. And another one is brightness mood. We can use the grayscale with grayscale high priority or the contrast high priority. But here, what I want to tell you is, if you met any brightness issue, the reason is this part. What you are going to say is, when you turn on the screen, you will find a few cabinets has different brightness, and if you adjust this part, everything will be solved. The screen will has good image, good brightness. But when you power off, power on, the problem comes back. So why I ask you a question? Because I want to know the principal part of these settings. Before I give you the answer, I want to ask you one question. Every time when we talk about the brightness information, where do we save this information in our system? If you think we save this this information in sending controller, please type 1 in the chat room. If you think these parameters will be saved in the receiving card, please type 2 in the chat room. 1 or 2. So actually, maybe even now I cannot see what you type in the chat room, but I can guess maybe some of you still thinking, okay, this information will be saved in the sending controller. But sorry, actually this information is saved in the receiving card. It is saved in the receiving card. So please see here. Here we have the save to hardware. Why we have this option? So that means if you do any adjustment in the software, the information will be sent to the receiving card, but as short memory, not long terms. Only after you click the save to hardware, this information will be saved in the receiving card as long time. So that's why in our solutions, we suggest you can adjust the brightness first, then select the one of the modes of the brightness, then click save. So save is very important. Save to hardware means we save everything in this interface to the receiving card part. Okay, so this is the first reason of the brightness issue. I hope I explained well. Next one is, in the receiving card, there's not only one RCFG or RCFGX file can be used. So here we give you an example. Here we have two cabinets. They have the exact same LD module. We can know from the module information. These two, they are totally the same. And the cabinet information here means the resolution of the cabinet is the same. 128, 128, right? So if we say the physical part, these two cabinets are totally the same, but they still have the brightness problem on the screens. So the reason the problem is come from the performance settings. Like here, the refresh rate, they are different. The grayscale level, they are different, and the most important one, which will influence the brightness, that is the brightness efficiency. Okay, maybe I think you have a question. So, what is the difference between brightness information and brightness efficiency? Okay, first tip for you, you should pay attention. When we talk about brightness information, that one is our NovaStar system feature. That one can be controlled by our software. But here, we talk about the brightness efficiency that is come from the driver IC, this one. This one. Actually, if I need to explain the relationship between the efficiency, refresh rate, grayscale on the driver IC. That is really big story and a little bit complex. So here I want to explain it in another simple way. Please see here. I use this circle. I act as the ability of driver IC. So the size of this circle is limited. So that means for each different kind of the driver IC, it itself has the limited ability. But the ability of the driver IC will be divided in different parts. And for different parts, it has different functionality. For example, this green part will control the refresh rate. Orange part will control the brightness efficiency. A gray part will control the grayscale. Of course, the driver IC can control more parameters, but here I didn't write it here. I just used the others to instead of. Okay, so if the ability of the driver IC is limited, so that means now if I want to change a little bit of the parameters, that means the other parameters will be influenced. For example, it will be like this. Did you see that? Let's say it again. This is before I do any adjustment. Now I just adjust a little bit of the grayscale. It already be influenced the brightness efficiency, others, or the refresh rate. So I want to use this example to explain that when the ability of the driver IC is confirmed, and we adjust parameters as refresh rate, grayscale, it will influence the brightness efficiency. And if the brightness efficiency is changed, what we will see by our human being eyes, that is the brightness on the screen, totally different. Okay, because in the market, there's different brand of the driver IC. So there's no one confirmed relationship can be used on all of them. So here I will not explain too much about Java IC. Here I just want you to understand that the relationship between them in one Java IC. So now you know why the brightness efficiency change will influence the effects on the whole screens. So how we can solve this problem? Actually, that is really very simple. First, you need to confirm which cabinet is the one you need the brightness. Which one is not? For example, if the cabinet 1 is the one which you need, you can read the RCFG or RCFGX file back from the receiving card. Okay, here, read. Okay, don't ask me how we can get this interface. My colleague Arnold already explained this in the past training course. The second one, the basic knowledge of the Nova LCT software. Okay, so if you don't know how we can get this interface, this one, please check that video on the YouTube channel or our website. Okay, so first we can read the RCFG or RCFGX file back from this interface. Then we can send it to the different brightness cabinet. If you don't want to do this specially, actually you can send to all the screen. Yeah, if you send all the screens, we can make sure that all the screen has the same RCFGX file. Okay, so this is how we can simply solve this problem. Another question. Now we talk about the RCFG or RCFGX file. If you lost the RCFG or RCFG file, what are we going to do? If you think you can create one by yourself, please type 1. If you think you can check with NovaStar engineer, please type 2. If you think, okay, you have a good manufacturer, you can type 3. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so if you ask me, I think I prefer to choose number 2 or number 3. So if I were you, I prefer to check the manufacturer or the NovaStar engineer, because different manufacturers, they have different design of the PCB board. So I cannot confirm. I know everything about the cabinet, the LED module. So if we want to reduce the risk, it's better to check with your supplier. That is the safe way. Yeah, I hope you can do everything simple. So just check with the manufacturer. Okay, so this is about how we can solve the problem if the reason is come from the RCFG or RCFGX file. Let's see the next one. We have the RCFGX file, but we also have another one also be saved in the receiving card. That is the firmware program. If you joined the past training course, I believe you already know what is the firmware program. So here I will not explain what is the firmware program. So after you try the steps about the brightness information and RCFG or RCFGX file, the problem is still there. Maybe the problem is come from the firmware program in the receiving card. So first we suggest you to find out the firmware program version. So here I give you an example. So from this example, we can see, okay, there's 3 kinds of different firmware program. Yeah, 3. So when we see this interface, we have 3 different versions. What are we going to do? 1, we update directly. Just to choose one of them. Second, we find the latest standard version to update it. Third, we check with NovaStar or manufacturer whether we can do the upgrade or not. 1, 2, 3, which one you prefer? Which one you will choose? So here I give you the recommend from NovaStar training team. If you met any problem about the firmware program, there's 2 things you need to check. First is the name of the version. For example, here we can see in this firmware program there's the custom. Okay, actually, personally, I don't like this word because it means this firmware program is customized. So you should know what is customized. So that means the normal support engineer, we cannot know all the details of the customized because we don't know what is different. It's customized. So what we need to do is you ask me, we check with R&D or we check with manufacturer whether what is different in this customized version. So one tips, when you meet the customized firmware program, please never update it directly. What you need to do is you ask for help from NovaStar or the manufacturer, because we too is the person who can give you the advice whether you can do the update it or not. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second is if you made the words STD. STD means the standard. If you see that is the standard version in your software, first, since you cannot use standard version to instead of the customized one. No, please never do that. But if you can use the latest standard version to update the old version, because standard firmware program, we already do a lot of tests about it, so we have confidence you can update it. But in case of some special problem or situation, no matter that a standard one or the customized one, please check the version first, make a screenshot and send to us, and the professional guys, someone like me, will let you know whether you can do the update or not. Okay, so please pay attention. So this is about if we met the problem, if we met the brightness issue, the reason is come from the firmware program. Okay. The next one, the reason for. The reason for is about the calibration coefficient. So here I give you the first situation. We see this screen. Okay, there's one cabinet that seems a little bit brighter. But if we go close to the screen, we've noticed that this part is not brighter. This part is not uniform, right? It's very obvious, right? You see the surrounding cabinet, everything goes well. Just this one looks a little bit brighter, but without calibration. So the reason of this part is because of a lot of maybe the receiving card. Some unknown reason it lost its calibration coefficient, or this receiving card is the new replacement, or this receiving card don't turn on the calibration issue. So how we can solve this problem? Let's do like this. So first, we need to go to the calibration option, which is on the Nova LCT software. We try to turn on or turn off in this part. We see if there's anything change of that brighter parts. If there's nothing happened, so that means, okay, there's without calibration coefficient. If we turn on the calibration coefficient and that receiving card has the correct coefficient, the problem will be solved. Okay, so if the receiving card don't have the calibration coefficient, okay, we do the next step. Please check whether you have the calibration database. Calibration database, that is the one which receives the calibration coefficient. So if you have that coefficient, that means your manufacturer already do the calibrate for you in their warehouse. And what you need to do is to do the re-upload coefficient from this option. Then your cabinet will get the correct calibration coefficient. The problem will also be solved. So after these two steps, problem still there. So that means the receiving card is empty without any calibration coefficient. What are we going to do? Recalibrate it. Okay, so the next step is about our calibration system. So actually, the calibration calibration system is most important feature of our NovaStar product. So that is very long, very big content. We prepared specific training only for the calibration course. So if you are interested about how we can do the calibration, or whether you want to have the full training of the calibration, please send email to us. If we collect enough information requirement from market, we will arrange online training. So here we will not explain too much about the how we can do calibration. Just to know, if you don't have the if you have the calibration system, you can try to do the recalibrated in the new module. Okay, so let's see the next one. The next one situation is same on the screen. There's one part cabinet is brighter, but we can see here the image inside the cabinet is good. So that means this cabinet and the surrounding cabinet always be calibrated. But why it has different? It means maybe they were calibrated in different time, different location, different camera settings. So I will explain a little bit about why they have this problem. So this is the brightness of the LED light. Before we do the calibration, it maybe has 100% brightness. But after the calibration, the brightness will be reduced a little bit. Here, the recommended reduced brightness level is 8%. But as mentioned, if the time is different, location is different, calibration setting, camera setting is different, it will always influence the result of the calibration. So that's why we cannot confirm every time after calibration they reduce 8%. It's depend on this. It's depend on the screen. If they're good enough, we reduce less. If they're still very bad, we need to reduce more. So that's why even we do the calibration, they still have this problem. But how we can solve it? This is the important things. In our Nova LCD software, we have one function which name is the adjust the calibration coefficient. The software setting is a lot. So if you want to know something about this part, please go to the NovaStar tag, support training option, NovaStar online workshops, go to the NovaStar course. You will find this one. We prepared the video for you. Okay, please check that video. We will not show you the detailed settings today. The next one, the power supply. Okay, maybe someone, when you see this reason, okay, power, how is it possible? How the power supply will influence the brightness? But actually, sometimes when the power supply output is not strong enough, it will cause the LED don't have the enough driver current. And the cabinet of one of part of them will show the different brightness. It happened. But how we can solve it? Because this is the hardware problem. What we can do is going to test the voltage of the power supply out, whether it is correct or not. But before you do the test, you need to know what is the standard operating voltage. So this part, please check with your manufacturer. Because if they do some special design of the cabinet, the standard operating voltage will be a little bit different. Okay, so this part we can help, but we cannot control. The last reason, multiple bench modules. I believe when you see this word, the multiple benches, you feel, okay, you hate it. I hate it also because this is the industry problem. We can develop it, the effect, but we cannot 100% solve it. The reason is, I give you example here. The materials of the cabinet is totally different. Even we didn't light up the screen, we can see, okay, these two masks will have the color difference. This looks a little bit brighter, this a little bit darker. If you have the camera, we can also do the calibration, but if you don't have it, we can use the following function, the multi-bench adjustment in the Nova LCD software. Okay, I think you have a question. How we can use it? Don't worry. We also prepared the video for you because to do these settings, you need a lot of good, you need the full experience of NovaStar system. So please check that video. Your old friend Darren created this one. So he will give you an explanation how you can use the multi-bench adjustment function. Okay, still the same place. Please check about it. Okay. If you already do all the 6 steps, I believe 90% the brightness different issue will be solved. So maybe some of you already know how to solve this problem, but don't have anyone to give you a summary. So today, after the presentation, I give you a summary of these 6 steps. For the receiving card, 4 parameters is important. Different brightness level, different brightness mode, different RCFGX file, different firmware program, different calibration coefficient. It's important. It's always be saved in the receiving card. So that means if you change or replace the receiving card in your cabinet, please pay attention on these 4 parameters. The rest two, the power supply, the multi branches, is about the problem of the hardware. So this part we can help, we cannot control. Okay, so that is the main presentation part about today's topic, the brightness different issue. So if you are satisfied with the training, please help to scan the QR code, or you can click the link to give us a feedback. The feedback is very important. You can also join the LinkedIn group to share your idea about the training. And in this group, we will discuss more about the training topic. You will get the record of the video to this session, and you can get the video link from our website, and you can follow the NovaStar YouTube channel to watch this video. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us on nc@novastar.tech, this email address. And if you want to learn more, you can go to our website to see all the video. We prepared them for you. Okay, so the next part,